Hello, my sweet beloveds. Welcome to the video. In this video, I want to open up again the topic of language. And it's not that kind of thing of like, mind your language, don't use swear words. It's about sayings that people use mindlessly. Sayings that they heard other people using and then they started using them as well without thinking about what those words actually mean and what those words will do for them. And actually, people repeat a lot of limiting beliefs to themselves and to one another. And this just goes on, and people still use those sayings and phrases to, they use them as excuses for not doing anything, not changing anything about their lives, not improving themselves, not working on themselves, and so on. One of those sayings is, I'm only human. Okay, I don't agree with that. You're only human. No, you're not only human. You're a soul incarnate as a human. So, this video touches on our state of mind, basically, and what comes out of our mouth, which is what comes out of our state of mind, and then what in return impacts our state of mind. Because those little zombies out there who just use sayings that they heard others using and just stupid words that are detrimental for them, they'll just repeat it to themselves to keep staying in that zombie state of slavery. I want to read to you some few things I wrote about this. So it's about minding our language, like I said, beyond swear words. It's about being completely mindful of every meaning of our words. One example is, do you know how nowadays people use the word sick to say, something is, to say that they like something or that something is trending or anything like that? Yeah, when did that start? No, and it's interesting to, for me, English is my second tongue and my second language. And it's, I believe, a lot easier for me to spot those senseless sayings and senseless use of words, like this one. It's sick. Okay, it's weird that you use that word. And well, if we dive into the slang of the nowadays, that's a whole topic of itself. With like people saying things like, oh, it's giving whatever, and like it's giving Madonna, which they mean it's giving Madonna vibes, but apparently it's too much to use all the words in a sentence, so they just kind of cut some of them. And another thing here I want to point out, look at the past. Look at how complex the language of, the languages of the past were. And with time, we're cutting more and more of the words. Like, up until recent time, it's still been okay, because we were still using sentences. But right now, like, again, it's giving whatever. Yeah, how's about you actually use a full sentence? Yeah, I think that's just stupid. And I think that people are trending stupidity at this point. So it's about understanding that words are powerful magic. And this is what the owners of humanity, because humanity is owned at this point by some dark elites, they don't want people to remember. Unfortunately, they made sure that people forget about their divine essence and divine nature and about the power that they could have. And words are powerful. Words are, guess what? Magic. And our voice is frequency. So words are magic and our voice is frequency. I would love you to understand this, like to the full extent of this. Words are magic and our voice is frequency. And together they contain intent. When you combine words, meaningful words, with your voice, once you are attuned to higher frequencies, you become, I use the term witch, wizard, magician, but nowadays people use the term manifester. I'm not that modern, I don't really like this modern world, this nowadays world that much. There are good things to it, but so I want to repeat this to you. Words are magic and our voice is frequency. I want to talk here about something. When I meet people, I can tell where they are at in terms of their state of mind, their level of consciousness, their expansion of the self, by their voice, by the frequency of their voice. I feel it in their voice. And many times, like some people talk and I just cannot stand it. I cannot stand their voice because they are so low in terms of consciousness, and just it's so this is about sayings and phrases that people have been using for so long without thinking about them and taking them as they are, just like people take everything, like those mindless little zombies out there. They take everything as it is without thinking about it, without questioning it, without using their brain and their power of will in any kind of way. Using them the same way that they heard other people using them, mindlessly. Thus creating and constantly repeating limiting beliefs for themselves. The example that I just gave, I'm only human. How many times have you heard this? How many times? I heard it a lot of times. People using this saying as an excuse for shitty behavior. I'm only human. I'm only human and I cannot change myself. No, you're a bloody narcissist. And that's why you cannot change yourself. Because you have no self... words. I forgot. I'm talking about words and I forgot the words right now. You're a narcissist and you do not have the proper capacity nor willingness to examine yourself, to really go that deep, because there's a lot of shit that deep within you. So you're only human. Oh, how cute. Deplorable. And like I said, so many people use this saying as an excuse for their stupid behavior and their comfort zone. of staying stupid and not evolving. All of these sayings that people use, and not just sayings, like language in itself that is spoken mindlessly. Repeated to bring comfort to those who stay stuck in their comfort and their limiting beliefs. And these sayings are actually limiting beliefs in themselves. Another example is, you cannot have your cake and eat it too. What the fuck? Why else would I have a cake? Oh, seriously, who the fuck thought of that? Humans have been trained into being stupid and into being slaves. And language is what shapes your mind as a human. When you grow up, when you come incarnate as a baby, the first years of your life are crucial. And that's when you understand language. That's when you integrate language into your mind. That's when you learn to speak and to use language and to understand it. And it's basically programming. At this point, human language, for most people, is nothing but programming. A programming for slavery. That's it. And I would love as many people as possible to understand that the human condition is not supposed to be a condition. You know, I'm only human. No, you're not only human. You're only incarnate as a human. So again, I repeat, the human condition is not supposed to be a condition. And all creatures are meant to be in tune with divinity, not only human. So those brainless little zombies repeat those phrases of their stupidity to themselves and to one another, on and on. And that's why it's so weird for them whenever, you know, they meet someone like you or like me who just has an understanding of divine nature, you know. Someone who is willing to expand themselves and someone who is willing to go to, you know, to embody greatness. Humans are afraid of that. So like I said, the language one speaks has a great influence on how they think. And too many people inherit a language and use it mindlessly. This is something I want to point out very, very clearly. Too many people inherit the language and then they use it as they inherited it. Like I said, without thinking about it, without questioning it. It's that stupid crab Taurus vibe of like taking things as they are, as they inherited them from their family and not changing them at all. And they never think about it. And please don't get me wrong. If you're a Taurus or a crab, it doesn't mean you do this. It doesn't mean you have to do this. Those things that I pointed out are low manifestations of those energies. So those people never analyze things. They just... At this point, I'm not sure they even exist anymore. Like, those people that don't think at all. So they just allow the dark elites to use them like little slaves. And I ask you to be mindful. and pay a lot of attention to the words you use, how you use them, when you use them. And when I say when you use them, I mean if you're doing magic, you know. It's the moon phases are the most go-to cycle that people use for their rituals, and it is important to always look at the sky before any kind of ritual. So I want to point out one final thing. What you do not use will use you. I don't mean people, okay? I don't mean using people. I said what you do not use. I didn't say the people you do not use. So the things, and I'm not talking about material things. I'm talking about those things that are around you that are more abstract, less tangible, less physical. Language is one of them. Music, again. So, at this point, I think almost everything that exists in this world, unfortunately, is put out there to control people. So if you do not pay attention to those things, and I just heard, you know, that saying, again sayings, the devil is in the details. It's like with clothes, you know, it's got 60% cotton and 40% polyester. Well then, it's shit. It's still got polyester, you know, stuff like that. So please do not compromise. Whatever we're talking about, whatever aspect of our lives we're talking about, please do not compromise in any kind of way. I know sometimes we have to, until we reach the desired state, the desired result, where we don't have to compromise anymore. But the core of my message to people is to integrate more and more health into your being, on all levels of your being. Whether we're talking about your physical being or your non-physical being. And this thing with language is actually right in between them. Okay, so I hope this message was clear. I hope it's gonna help people. I hope it's gonna help people start analyzing the words they use more and more. And paying a lot of attention to how they use those words. Thank you so much. I love you.